Hi everybody, my name is Alex Gray and I'm a secondary science teacher here in Dubai. Today I'm going to talk to you about a tutor that I've created to do with personalization and project-based learning. So let's dive in. I like Jumanji, I'm not going to lie to you there. So the bot that I've created is to do with the character of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson from Jumanji, Dr. Bravestone. And the focus on this was I spoke with a few different people around the world about what they're doing with AI and how they're integrating project-based learning into their lessons. And I got kind of interested in design briefs and whether we can just utilize those, not necessarily on a large scale for like 10 lessons, but can I bring it in for, let's say, a short period? Can I use it for an activity? And then the more people I spoke to kind of gave me these ideas about co-creation and to do with like getting students to be autonomic with, so having student agency, sorry. So using student agency and giving them sort of this idea of control and co-creation within the lesson. So I looked at how I can design a tutor and the prompt that where I can give students a topic and give them a choice of real world scenarios within my lesson, and they can then go and pick the real world scenario that they want to do. So in this one, I've set him as Dr. Bravestone, and we're going to go on an educational adventure. So what the students have to do first and foremost is you would have to put in your real world scenario. So that would be something that I would give them as the class, so maybe a choice of 5 in this case. So I've picked out one of the briefs I've gave to my class actually to do with this. So we were learning about gas exchange in biology. So in this case, it says a pharmaceutical company is tasked with designing a new drug. We can read from there. And obviously, the way that this works then is we get a problem statement. And then what the bot will do is it looks for a solution description. So it gives students then some of the areas that they need to address in the challenge. So you can read those in terms of 1 to 4, like researching, understanding, identifying materials, designing and testing a prototype. And then what I like about this, and this is where we try to add in this idea of personalization and co-creation, is with project-based learning in terms of it's not a traditional way of how you can assess it. So one of the things that we use with this are rubrics. And so what I've done is we get this output where students can then choose what area of the rubric they really want to focus on. So in this case, you get a choice of 5. So understanding application, creativity, critical thinking, collaboration. So I'm just going to go with, put in number 5 and then see what it comes out with for me. Now, so it goes through and shows you, so the students then can go, yes, I like this, no, I don't, and they can change things. And in this case, yep, that's fine. And once they've agreed to it, what happens is then the Mindjoy will create this rubric that's personalized for what they're going to be doing, and obviously puts it into this table format. And the students can then, if we wanted to, let's say if we have a look at this, yep, I can copy that, paste it over to a separate document, paste it into, I don't know if you use Google, Microsoft, whatever it may be, and they've got that there then for them to go through or for them to peer assess using the rubric that's personalized to them. And obviously then Mindjoy's got that, so if they want to go back and have any questions or follow-up questions or need any guidance, they can do it and it will refer to obviously their personalized rubric. So that's what the output of it looks like. In terms of the actual prompt side of it, it's quite a long one because obviously the output is very specific. But start with the introduction. So Dr. Bravestone, you're an expert in design briefs and personalized learning experience. And obviously it then goes through the starting point. So you want to gather information, asking the student for the real world scenario, which it did, create the problem statement and solution. So the students then get the statement and obviously solution ideas. Now you can remove that depending on the age group of the class. If you don't want it to be giving solutions to them and you want students to generate it themselves, if you want it to come up with, let's say maybe 2 or 3, or you want it to come up with more, then you can tweak that as you would like. And then it gets into the personalization of this. So I then ask it for point number 3, guide the student in selecting a focus area for their personalized rubric. Now, I've obviously selected 5 criteria from that are relevant to the skills side that I'm interested in project-based and problem-based learning. You can change that to fit whatever you would like. And then the points under it, ask the student to select an area. Now, when I originally tried this and I didn't give it a fixed number, it would ask it to prioritize in 3. So you could say top 1, or pick 2. It's entirely up to you. And then obviously says choose a specific criteria they want to include in their rubric. And then the co-creation at point 4, it goes through it. Use a scale of 1 to 4 for each criterion with clear descriptions. Again, you could change that yourself. So you could have it 1 to 5. You could tell it exactly how you want it to be headed, or anything, other details that you would want from there. Again, engaging the students to discuss their choices gives an element of agency to them, and they get to choose. They can go, yes, I like this. No, I don't. Make any adjustments, so they're happy with it as well. And then the part underneath is the design brief guidelines. So just short notes about what each one is. You could add that into a knowledge base if you wanted it to be easier, if you had more details on it and had it as a Word document or obviously as a PDF, and you could just attach that in. A couple of things to note yet. There is no knowledge base. It's all written into the prompt. I don't want it in terms of Socratic mode because it's not that the students are learning anything from this. So it's not like I need those types of questions and follow-up thinking for them. It's about this idea of personalization and developing an activity that's relevant to what they're interested in and what they want to study. And again, no maths and no suggested questions. And that's it. As I say, it's quite a long prompt. It's quite detailed for this. But the outcome of what the students get, if you look at it from here, as one example, with this rubric, and you can have students who are doing exactly the same real-world scenario, however, they could be focusing on completely different skill sets. And so the outcome of what they create would be completely different. There's another one, let's have a look at this one I tried previously as well. Again, same surface area to volume ratio activity, different real world scenario, in this case, designing a new type of athletic wear, and the outcome still exactly the same. So I've got a problem, I've got some potential solutions, and then it asks me for the area that I want to focus on. In this one, I said creativity and innovation. So it lists out the 4 different areas that it sees as creative and innovative, asks me if I'm happy with it, and obviously then starts to come out with this personalized rubric from there. And as you can see, it is slightly different. Well, it's very different actually to the one that was originally given in terms of output, but criteria and obviously everything else up to 4 points is exactly the same. And that's it. Hopefully you have found that useful or inspiring, or just something that, again, thinking about how you can add and allow students agency within the classroom, how you can get this idea of authenticity, as well as then students being able to personalize what they'd be interested in. And you can change it completely to suit whatever areas of interest students have, whether it's sport related, music related, but it's a really good way of allowing students to have this idea of autonomy and agency in their own real-world problem they're interested in, and again, thinking about the areas of focus. And you can even continue to use this throughout the year and monitor students' progress and certain skill levels, and obviously making sure that they're changing, so they can't always do the same one every time. So, you could get it and change the prompt and ask it to go, right, what did you do last time? Right, and students can say, and then obviously this time it could remove that and only give them a choice of those 4 instead of 5. So there's lots of things you can do to play around with this to get really good output, personalization and agency within any lesson that you want it to be in. I hope you found that useful, guys. Thanks ever so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you soon.